Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 43, Week 4.
Week 4 already?
Yep.
This episode was titled Show No Mercy, spoken by Cody. We're at the Vesi tribe. It's night 7. They're fresh back from that tribal council where NECA was voted out, and Noelle is extremely grateful.
Cody really seems to be shaken up.
Yeah, sure. With reason, I'm sure. But Noelle, she really loves you guys. Love you guys. So thankful.
Yep. Well, you can't blame them. They got no flint, no food, no fire.
That's
so
something.
They're cold and hungry.
Only eating coconut for 7 days now.
Ugh.
Basically, that's their story, right?
I'm not sure I could eat just coconut for 7 days.
Not a one of them. Classic. Not a single one of them apparently put in the effort prior to going out there to learn how to make a friction fire.
Well, and even if they did, the climate's different, and
there's no guarantee. It's very difficult.
The wood's different, so they might not.
Here's where I'm going to fault Cody a little, and I think he had an even better opportunity. Because he talked about the aunts and the uncles, and he talked about being a part of the Hawaiian community. I think he probably could have asked someone to help him. Or, worst case, he could have gone to like the Polynesian Center where they do demos of it and seen it because he's there on the islands.
Doesn't mean he could do it. But, yes, you would think that making some effort.
He seems fairly capable in that regard. Although, who knows? But yeah, none of them put the effort in to learn how to do that. The bamboo saw or, numerous possible methods that we've seen other people do and show up and make fire on day 1, men and women with the skill because they put the effort in, but not this Vesi tribe.
'Tis true. Okay, over at Baka on day 8. Gabler is cutting palm fronds to lay on the sleeping people and waking them up. That is not a fun way to wake up with a palm frond in your face and on your body. So that can't feel good.
Basically, he's come up with another way to annoy people.
Now, I could understand if he had taken the time to weave them and actually make some sort of cover. But just to lay the palm frond.
Just to drape it over Sami.
Here you go.
Asking Elie, what is going on? What is this?
Why is he hitting us with palm fronds?
Yeah. Why are people throwing limbs at us?
Well, if I'm out there and you actually manage to get to sleep, don't be waking me up for any reason unless somebody's dying. Just know.
Sami tells us poor Gabler, sometimes he's just not aware of how he's perceived by others.
Oh, he was just trying to do something nice for him, get him a blanket, help keep them warm so they would sleep well. Though Elie did manage to get in at some point that I was asleep and you woke me up.
And she was very clear. I do not want that.
Yes.
I do not want that. She had to tell him multiple times because here he came with another one to drape over her.
Then they kind of get into it, Gabler and Elie, about making the fire.
Mm-hmm.
But good on her. She stood up to him and said, hey, we tried it your way. Didn't work. Now we're going to do it my way.
That seemed, the way she handled it came across as a little more passive than that. But
really? I didn't.
That was at least how I perceived it.
Well, he came back with the whole, well, then you gather. She said, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you not see me
And
doing it?
he also seems to be one of these people who makes it out there without a basic understanding of what an ember is and kindling and how to coax a fire up from the coals like that, and immediately putting pieces bigger than your thumb on there, thinking somehow that's going to catch. And well, it's not his problem. It's because the fire's blowing the other way. The wind's blowing not towards his material that he put there to burn.
Well, I do not think I would rate Gabler a high ranking for his social skills.
Definitely
in
not.
His tribe.
Yeah, definitely
or
not.
On the show. Even.
Or his survival bushcraft skills, for that matter. Those aren't showing through either. And with the last scene we get there with them is Elie. She's getting some smoke. She's coaxing the fire back up.
Yep. Well, at least he's trying.
Right to the reward challenge. Boom. And it's a 2-challenge episode, so that's something new for the season.
First of the season, yep.
Yeah, and it's a 2-day cycle. We're only going to do day 8 and day 9 with this episode.
They got a lot in for a 2-day cycle, don't you think?
Sure. Reward one day, immunity the next.
Yep.
And this is that part that Probst did really accurately described, where things are just moving. It's happening. They were just in immunity the day before. Now they're back in a reward challenge. They're going to be in another immunity the next day. Yeah.
Back to tribal, even doing the go steal something from whichever tribe you want to steal from, and
yeah,
all of that happened.
Got some classic elements and some slightly new elements in this reward challenge.
Well, I think they did that in the period of time where they would have sent people off on a boat for one of those do you want to take a risk things. They didn't do that, so they had time to send
for the
Cody
reward
off.
challenge you're saying?
No, I'm saying where they
the
sent
raid?
Cody for the raid
Got you.
would have been the period of time they probably would
All right.
have done the
I'm
other.
going to wind us back just a little bit and talk about the reward challenge a little bit. So each tribe, and they've got 4 people, they're going to compete in the challenge, picks one person, that's going to be the thrower, and that person's job is to knock the blocks down. So they've got 3 different size blocks, small, medium, large, stacked on top of a pole up high, or a crossbar, basically, that's on 2 poles. And they've got sandbags to throw to knock those blocks off. And then once they get all the blocks off, they have to pick 2 of those blocks and walk.
One person.
The thrower, has to move down the course by walking on top of the blocks. So 1 foot on a block and roll another forward, step over to it, bring the next block forward. Well. Yeah, everybody seemed to manage it well.
I thought it would be harder.
I don't remember them doing anything where they had to walk on blocks like that before. Do you? I don't remember. I mean, I remember when we saw people try to roll barrels, they tried to stand on the barrels and move them down.
Yeah, or move boards and walk across the boards and move them forward.
Yeah. So this was kind of like a budget version of that in the sand. So
I guess what really surprised me is that Ryan was... I just, immediately thought, oh, Ryan will make quick work of that.
He's going to destroy that wall of blocks.
Yeah, he's going to destroy those. And he was like going through little bitty holes.
Yeah, his first throw, at least that they showed us, he whiffed it completely. Yeah. Didn't touch a single block, went right in the space between them. That was crazy. And nobody was really doing that great in the beginning. And then Sami got a good hit, and then Cody caught fire. And he just blasted through there.
Cody.
Probst compared him to a major leaguer, and he cleared all those blocks off, and he took off down through the sand, walking on top of the blocks.
That's the only compliment Probst has given Vesi. He seems to ride them pretty hard.
Yeah. So he makes what looked like short work, although that was abbreviated because that was a pretty long course that you could see. And so it
they were probably there a long time.
Yeah, it took a while, I'm sure, to walk those blocks down there like that. And then when that's done, the other 3 tribe mates have to land sandbags on these plates that are swinging from
Ropes.
yeah, 3 attached with like 3. Yeah, I think it was three different plates and then maybe 3 ropes. 2 or 3. I don't remember exactly. But they were 3 different sizes too. So there's a big plate, a medium plate, and a small plate.
And each person of the 3 had to get one of them.
Right.
One person couldn't do them all 3.
Yeah, couldn't have a highly skilled person do that.
That makes it so much harder.
And when we were looking at the course, I remember you asked, do you think Jeanine can make that throw? Because that's a pretty long throw. She walked up there and nailed it. Just boom.
Well, and I thought...
Well, not super fast, but when they finally got there, Baka got there second, Vesi got there first, and then
I couldn't believe
Coco was last.
I was like, I don't know if Gio can throw that far either. He walked right
First
up
throw,
and just
yeah.
boop, right in there. It's like,
But
okay, never
that
mind.
was all they got because Vesi was on fire, and Noelle and Jesse both did fantastic, landed theirs. Now, Dwight was struggling a little bit, but he eventually got his.
He got it.
And they won the challenge.
Yay.
So that was 10 fresh fish was their reward.
And they get to go to either Baka or Coco and steal one item, anything except flint.
He clarified at the end when he said reward item, because at first I thought it was one thing. Like it could have been a machete or the pot or a Hawaiian sling like that, but it was one reward item that he said.
Yeah,
the
or
only
the
thing
fishing equipment.
Off limits was the flint.
Yes.
Which they still did not have. So they were about to get 10 fresh fish, and they had no way of cooking them, and they had no citrus to do a ceviche. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Noelle was having no part of that.
No part of raw fish.
She wasn't going to eat raw fish.
No. She was not that hungry, I guess.
She's on top of it, though. She immediately asked Probst, can we trade? And he said, yes, you can always trade for one of the other rewards. So
they took the big basket of fruit?
Yeah, so they opted for fruit and tools. Complete pass on the fish.
Well, they didn't get tools, though. That was part of what they were going to take, but they decided to go for the machete. They didn't get tools.
No, they traded the 10 fresh fish reward for the fruit and toolkit reward.
Oh,
those were a combo. They came together in that reward.
Okay. I guess I missed that. Good catch, baby.
Okay.
I thought that's what they were going to steal. But okay.
Over to Vesi on day 8. They're enjoying that fruit. And Cody's talking with his mouth full, which was incredibly annoying.
Okay, before you totally go over there, I have to comment once again about Jeff saying when Vesi was in the lead, he said, well, very surprised to see red ahead of anyone. I thought, really, Jeff? That was kind of nasty.
Well, they are down 2 people. They haven't been doing so well.
But you don't kick people when they're down.
Now, Probst has always been pretty good about that.
Well, I don't care. I did not approve.
He's happy to show up with a swift kick.
Did not approve of that. I thought,
get under their
Jeff,
skin.
Come on. He was kind of dogging them a bit today.
They've got a history of choking in challenges, so
I know,
that was just still. That was a compliment of the highest level that he offered.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That wasn't backhanded at all. Okay, Vesi.
So all right, Vesi's eating their fruit, and
Cody volunteers to go. Dwight wasn't sure that was a good idea. He thought, I might be the more diplomatic of the 2 of us.
Well, that's probably true, but Cody wanted to do it.
Cody reassured him, I will not go over there and kick down their structure.
Well, yeah. And they flip over to Coco.
And, sorry, that's where we got the title, was him in there.
Yes.
Saying the show no mercy.
Show no mercy. Yep. And they flipped over showing James. It's like they're talking about what they would take. And he's like, well, if they take our machete, that is war.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't do without our machete. We could give up anything else, but not the machete.
They cut to Baka, so they're cutting back and forth between the tribes at this point. And Owen says, well, they'd be stupid not to come here since we've won all these rewards and we have so much extra stuff.
So I'm sure they were expecting them to show up.
And Coco, over at Coco, we hear them say they'll go for Baka. They're the ones who've won the most rewards.
That's right. Now, Noelle wants fishing gear, but Cody wants that machete. They want to more stick it to them than make it harder for them. Than she's looking at it from what will benefit us the most.
Right.
And they're like, we don't care about that. We just want to stick it to them.
We want to hurt them.
We want to hurt them. We want them to lose. And I thought, yeah, but if you don't also fortify yourself, you're just going to keep going down. Yeah. What are you really going to do with 2 machetes? Can you use it? Sure. But is it going to feed you?
It is a spiteful move, isn't it?
It
to your point.
Felt more like a spiteful
It's like, what? You really need to?
I was with her. Let's get some fishing gear, see if we can't strengthen ourselves so we can beat them, you know.
Cody, he's not having it. He said, this is war. This tribe's missing grit. We need to inflict pain.
There was a lot of talk of revenge on this episode.
Yeah, there was. Multiple facets.
So Cassidy tells us they want to give us a hard blow because of our numbers. Well, yeah, that's kind of how. If you were down 4 and they had 6, you'd be wanting to do that too. I'm sure of it.
I liked her question for him when Cody got there to Coco when he shows up. They have a little suspense. It's like Baka sees him or Coco sees him, and then he ends up showing up on Coco Beach, and Cassidy asks him, how exactly are you eating those fish?
Yeah,
I think that flipped Cody's switch. He was back to wanting the machete at that point.
Well, here's the thing. This is the first real instance where we start seeing Lindsay make threats. Mm-hmm. She's like,
there will be retaliation.
What about our retaliation?
Yeah. Have you thought this through?
Yeah. In other words, we're going to come for you.
Cody covers it. He said, oh, this is all part of my master strategy as a salesman. I'm here to negotiate. I was just softening them up by scaring them at first.
Well, to Lindsay's benefit, she did say, what else, Cody? What else would you like? Mm-hmm. You know, she's trying to get him off the machete thing. What else would you like? I mean, you know, we've got this, what else?
So what did he end up with?
He ended up with some limes, some of the root vegetable, and the fishing, their fishing equipment.
So basically, you got their fishing gear reward.
Yes.
Okay. Which
and
was the smaller of the 2
some limes
kids.
And some vegetable.
Yeah, 4 limes it looked like.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, now you have no fish in which to, but maybe they'll catch some fish to use it on.
Yeah, when the tide turns and the flint comes back. Yeah.
I definitely think, they didn't show us, but I definitely think Cody will be out there trying to get fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe even have some of that skill.
I would think that would be exciting for him.
Karla was not happy. She said we gave too much. Cody played us.
Yeah.
She that was not a satisfying negotiation for her. Day 9, Community Immunity Challenge.
They have to retrieve these blocks. They first have to get the key, push off all those heavy bags, find the key.
A ring with 3 keys on it buried under heavy sandbags that are stacked on tables 2 or 3 high.
And when they get that, they have to go over to the net and unlock it so they can drag the puzzle pieces underneath to the other side.
Yeah, and some of the puzzle pieces were all fairly big, but
some
1 or 2 of them are heavy. Yeah.
Very heavy. So, again, Ryan really struggled with that. The other 2 got through pretty quickly.
Well, it looked to me, and this could have just been the edit, but it looked like they got lucky. Like Cody and Lindsay got lucky, and the first key they tried out of the 3 worked. And that just wasn't the case for Ryan.
I don't know. It seemed like Ryan had trouble getting the lock, even after it was open, getting it out from, the net.
Yeah, somehow he got it caught up in there and struggled a little.
So, anyway, they were behind considerably.
Coco Blue Tribe was behind again. So first, after they get those 4 puzzle pieces, those big blocks that are cut in different shapes. They have to assemble them first to make a square, and then they're going to have to climb up a cargo net up to the final platform and take those same 4 puzzle pieces and assemble a triangle.
Yeah, I kind of like that. That was pretty awesome. I did not like that, once again, Jeff was pointing out how slow moving Dwight was, about as slow as you can move.
And still be moving, he said. That was,
I like
was
that
pretty
he said,
harsh.
"Thanks, Jeffrey."
Yeah. I think he's taking one out of Penner's book there.
Yeah.
So Gio, Cassidy, and Jeanine ended up sitting out of this one, since only 4 could compete.
Well, now that there's reward and immunity, and you can't sit out back-to-back challenges now, they have to think about who they put in the reward
A little more strategy.
challenge.
Absolutely.
A little more strategy with that.
Can't just always sit Gio out.
No.
Gabler was pretty gassed after he got out from under that net. He was struggling. So I believe it was Dwight, Cody were working on it for Vesi, for the Red Tribe, and Jesse. Oh, no.
What, working on what?
Building the square. Who was it that was working on that?
Ryan, and I don't remember who.
I remember Owen and Elie, right, did it for Baka. You know, I've confused myself. I wrote down Dwight and Cody and Jesse and Dwight.
Alrighty, well, it's not hard to confuse ourselves sometimes. I noted that, when after they got the squares put together and Vesi took off, Noelle did have trouble with the leg that she was wearing.
Definitely slipping.
That's
with
her running leg. And I thought, if she just had the other one on that had the foot, it would have been probably easier to climb up that cargo net.
Yeah, it would have made some other things harder, and definitely some strategic decisions for her.
She is such a trooper. She's like, "Don't wait for me.
Yep.
Go in."
Get those blocks up there.
That's right.
Because Baka got the square first, and then Vesi got it
second.
Yep, and Coco was struggling. They were starting to fall behind at this point.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to point out. Gabler over there going, "That's it. That's it." And everybody's looking that. They're like, "Shut up, Gabler."
Yeah.
It's like, geez, you're telling everyone. They can look over and see what you're doing. But they were very smart to, as soon as Jeff approved theirs, they tore it apart real quick.
Yeah,
they
Dwight,
needed to disassemble, but
they had to carry the pieces, but Dwight didn't let that stand, so he kicked that over for Vesi really quick, and Baka did the same thing.
They didn't want the others seeing how they did it.
Didn't want to give Coco any help, for sure.
Okay. Then they get it, Vesi and Baka get all their pieces up the cargo net and start working on the triangle before Coco gets done. That's about the time they got done with the square.
Yeah, but Coco does eventually get up there, but then they're struggling. But Vesi wins first, and then Noelle immediately starts talking to Elie and giving her help, telling her how to place the blocks. And so basically Vesi has decided to align with Baka. They must have made this plan before they went in, I'm thinking. Or
she decided that she wants to help and kind of join with them.
And great. As strategies go, I think that was phenomenal. Yeah, you make enemies of Coco, but you potentially build a bigger alliance, and that group of 4 needed this. They absolutely needed this.
They needed a win so badly.
Well, I'm not talking about the win so much as the alliance, the informal alliance that they just formed with Baka to get Baka through it.
Absolutely.
And Baka was super grateful. They were, I can't remember who it was, but they said the win's a win. And so
that's right.
They were happy to have the help, and Coco was steaming. Blue Tribe was upset that Vesi had helped Baka win second.
Yep. Sami went right over and, did a hand high five or whatever with Dwight.
Yep.
And but yeah, I thought
You
they
can see
really reacted. to
Elie
Coco.
showed her gratitude. She looked over at Vesi and mouthed a big thanks, and they all nodded back at her. So I think this was huge. This potentially
too.
shifted everything
The
come
entire game.
merge time. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pivotal moment. And of course, no one on Coco is going to forget that. They were burning. I don't know if it was, I think it was Ryan. It was Ryan or Gio said that wasn't earned.
Gio,
Yeah.
they didn't earn it. That was when Jeff was handing them their immunity idol. He's like, they didn't earn it. It's like, no, but they got it. And if they were helping you, you would have gladly accepted it.
Probst didn't miss the moment, so he was hitting Coco with questions. And Cassidy acknowledged that this had certainly united the losers. And Lindsay tells us in her confessional that they will get revenge at the merge. I'm just not clear on how you're going to do that, given you just went down in numbers.
Again, the whole episode was about revenge for her. Over and over and over.
All of a sudden, you just became 9 versus 6.
Yep.
In the most general way. Who knows if it'll hold?
Well,
but
9 versus 5, because you're about to send somebody home.
Yes.
So, you don't, might want to be a little more humble till you make some alliances there. Because you've got to look ahead to the merge, too.
Yep, we're back at the Coco camp on day 9, and Ryan declares that we're going to eat one more meal together, and then we'll decide. And he tells us Gio's is number 1 and James's is number 2. That's 3, Ryan. That's not quite the majority you need. But,
yeah, no.
And then Gio announces that he's targeting Cassidy.
Because she cannot be trusted.
And then he said the magic words. I thought, we're going to get a vote out point. We're going to get it. Because he said that he was excited for tribal council and that he was happy to be calling the shots.
And then Cassidy tells us how much Gio grates on her nerves and that he's just a little too comfortable.
He gets called bossy and sassy and all kinds of things. So I thought there's a good chance here. Let's see how things play out. But when you got someone as overconfident as Gio in expressing that, I'm looking forward to going to tribal council, that usually means there's a reckoning coming.
Yep. Well, when he was talking to Lindsay and asking her what's going on, she's like, nobody's saying anything right now. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's usually a red flag too. Because somebody's saying something. But if they're not saying it to you, you might want to be a little bit afraid.
Yeah, it's hard to know when that happened in the sequence of events.
Exactly.
But you could get caught up real quick in that because supposedly the thing that ends up bothering Lindsay is that there's all these side conversations still going on.
Yeah, and if it's been decided, why does anybody need to keep talking? It's like, well, but not everyone is in on it.
She even acknowledged that she was paranoid, and they did have a plan in place.
Well, and then Karla was like with James, well, maybe we should. And James didn't seem to want to go along with that. So he did try to talk Lindsay down, and he basically said, trust me.
Trust the process.
Just trust me.
If you can't trust the process, trust me. I thought James was making a good case. But Lindsay had it in her head. She said, I'm a threat. Why wouldn't they be coming after me? They must be coming after me. They're still having these meetings.
Okay, so Gio was not the only one that was overly confident about their worth in the tribe. And but James tells Karla, okay, he got Lindsay under control. Just let me handle her paranoia. You don't worry about it. Don't get upset. Just let me I'll handle that part.
She did appear to relent. She said, I'll trust
she did.
you.
I love you guys, and I'm putting all my trust in you.
Maybe the damage was done. You just don't want to be that squirrely. What did James say? Don't sketch out your alliance.
Yeah.
She didn't understand. She didn't seem to have the first inkling how that was being perceived by others.
And there were several times where she was, again, sounded very threatening.
Yes.
And revenge kept bringing it up. How if they do this to me, blah, blah.
Karla said trying to talk to Lindsay was like trying to talk your drunk friend out of having another drink.
Yep.
And she wasn't too keen on having Gio boss her around, so I thought there was still a chance for our vote out of choice of Gio there.
And Lindsay was also a little paranoid because Ryan wouldn't talk strategy with her. Mm-hmm. Or she said he wouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, that was another issue.
Yeah, it really seemed to stick in her craw, didn't it?
Yep. Tribal Council.
Night 9. We got the danger violins coming in. I like that.
Boy, they were really checking out the set, weren't they?
Well, first time there on night 9.
Yeah, but you could just see the excitement in their eyes. Yeah. Several of them, were just like, oh, wow, look at this, Something new they hadn't seen. So
Probst started easy. He just pitched a soft one to Ryan. What would you give yourself as a grade? How are you guys doing as a tribe? And Ryan said, I think we're about an 8.5. And James tells us that Gio and Ryan are the papaya boys, keeping them fed.
Well, Ryan says if I care for people, I want to provide for them.
And he did toot his own horn a little, climbed a tree and got the coconut.
Yep. I'm providing for my tribe, Jeff.
He put a nice little twist on the end, too. He said, I took your words to heart. Probst loves that stuff. I mean, he gets framed as the mentor of the whole thing at that point.
Well, yeah, in a lot of ways, I'm sure he is. Okay, what did Lindsay learn?
She said they had learned a lot about what works, but today was certainly a wake-up call.
And how to win until today.
And that's when she started harping again on some people didn't talk to me.
Well, and I hope people
Ryan.
will reveal why they didn't want to talk to me. But then he explained, and she didn't like it. She rejected the explanation. I thought, oh, Lindsay, this is tribal council.
Not doing yourself any favors, but
None.
Maybe she knew at this point. Maybe the damage had been done.
Maybe.
We'll have to see what they say in the interviews. I was thinking as she was watching herself tonight, she might realize I did this to myself, but given how she was approaching things, more likely she probably ended up saying, oh, see, I was right all along, instead of
they were going to get me.
I did this to myself. Yeah.
But I really think it was just the way she was acting that made them turn that way, because they all seemed to be pretty set with Gio was going.
Yep. Easy peasy.
And Gio was like, hey, so long as it's not me.
Yes.
He didn't really care.
Not me equals happy.
Yep.
And he was fretting because Probst was going to take the remote away.
And he said, however, if you show up at tribal council and you're not nervous, something's wrong.
Karla said it had been all about the scramble, and you fact check and you try to make sure things are solid.
And Lindsay admits she was paranoid.
Gio says he was all about keeping his people calm.
My people. My people.
Cassidy added, yes, sometimes it may look calm on the top, but that ain't what's really going on down below.
Well, and Gio announced somebody's going to be hurt at the end of tribal council.
I thought that was another feather in...
That it was going to be him.
Yes.
We're like, yes. Get a point.
James was all about chilling. Chilling equaled trust. If they could just chill.
Yeah, I was showing you trust by chilling.
Cassidy said that is indeed the emotional battle that happens when you know you're going to tribal council.
Yep.
Can you get a plan? Can you settle on it? And then can you chill out?
It's the only way to demonstrate trust, she said.
And then Karla said they were talking right down to the wire. That's when we should have known something was still...
Yeah, Karla said
hinky.
There's still a lot of questions in the air.
Yeah.
I thought, time to vote.
No idols, no advantages are played. First vote comes in for Cassidy, 1 for Gio, and then it took a turn. 1 for Lindsay.
2 for Lindsay, 3 for Lindsay.
Bye-bye.
4 for Lindsay.
Yes.
Okay, so Gio voted for Cassidy. Lindsay voted for Gio.
Yes.
And
as she was told to initially.
Yeah. And Ryan, Cassidy, James, and Karla all voted for Lindsay.
Decided they couldn't count on her, couldn't trust her if she was going to freak out and get this paranoid.
And wanting revenge on everyone. You know, that kind of talk,
That's not a stable alliance.
yeah, that's not a stable attitude either. To get really, I mean, the look on her face at times, I was like, "Ooh."
She was really
That's
rocking the
scary.
crazy ex-girlfriend thing there. She's ready to key the car.
What's wrong with that?
All right. Go back to listening to your country songs.
I love my country songs.
Yeah, I mean about the ladies keying the cars.
Oh, you're talking about Carrie now.
Yeah,
You just don't know who sings it.
that's right.
Alrighty.
I'll proudly check that box.
Okay. Well, whew, what a tribal council.
Did not see that coming. Now, what did you think overall? Got a reward challenge? Got an immunity challenge? Got to raid a tribe and steal some stuff?
Jam packed.
Yep, a lot going on. Enjoyed it.
That was a lot for an hour.
Interesting to see how Coco faced the trial by fire.
Cassidy was trying to talk to Lindsay as she was leaving, you know, and telling her, "I am so sorry. I wish it wasn't you."
Yeah, I don't think she was hearing any of that at that point.
Oh no.
No,
'Cause
this was her
Cassidy
life's
voted
dream,
for
and it
him.
had just been crushed. It would be hard to hear if you frame
Well,
things that way.
And afterwards, she said, "I thought my alliance was with me." It's like, well, you might have then, but it took them so long to get you there. They didn't want to have to do that every time. They
Yeah.
couldn't count on you.
The Lindsay tax was just too high.
Yeah, it just makes her as a player and an alliance member way too volatile going forward. So I don't disagree with their decision. Though I don't think that, I believe they convinced Ryan to vote for Lindsay by, instead of voting with Geo against Cassidy. I think they said, look, you know, that people want to vote for Geo. So if you want us to help save him, I'm sure James could have said, look, we got to save Geo. We got to vote
Right.
for her. So he saved Geo.
They're willing to do
That-
this. Let's go this route.
Yeah. And I think he could have easily talked Ryan into doing that. So
Think so. So probably James is more pivotal than we had originally
Yep.
suspected.
because everybody kind of wanted to play with James.
Yep. And James took care of that one.
And he was taking care of Lindsay. He was managing her, which I didn't see that coming either. but-
Certainly seemed to be making a, pretty significant effort there to get her from falling in that holly hole, but she was bound and determined to unbind that alliance for sure.
Though he did his best to save her, I think, and but he obviously finally caved. That do we want to have to do this all the time? If she's paranoid now, just imagine what she'd be later in the game, or once they do the merge, and if they're not in the top of the numbers.
And it was Karla who initially was thinking, look, if she's going to be like this,
Let's get rid of her.
maybe we need to pivot and drop her. So, okay, now each tribe has at least been to tribal council. We're not going to get another undefeated blue tribe.
Yep.
So we're at 5, 4, and 5 now. Only one person from Baka and one person from Coco will have to sit out going forward. Next time on Survivor,
Geo tells Cassidy, "You are not on our side.
that's our Geo. He's always making friends.
You are not one of my people."
So he thinks he's got the upper hand. Cassidy was with Geo. So, or it was, who voted for me? Who voted? It was you, right? Not recognizing that it was Lindsay that threw one his way.
Yep.
Cassidy tells us they think they have the numbers, but revenge is best served cold. Not sure.
That could go
How's
either
that
way.
playing out?
Maybe,
Who's
maybe
they?
not. Yeah.
Who's they in this case?
Well, they were showing a couple of the guys that the guys thought they were in control, but maybe she
so
thinks,
Geo's head got even bigger because one of the ladies are out now, and so it's three guys
three
as far
guys,
as he's concerned.
But I think what she meant was that James is with the girls. They still think they're a solid 3. So Geo may not have a reason to be as confident as he is if she truly believes James is still with them.
So if you got Cassidy, James, and Karla
Yep.
as the majority alliance in Coco now, then Gio and Ryan have a problem.
That's what I took it to mean.
Yep.
And
thwarted again. And how is this is that the third time I've picked Gio to go?
I have no idea.
Just got to chase him throughout the season here.
Till he leaves.
Okay.
Okay.
So we see
the risk advantage thing that they do.
The bags of risk, yeah.
Yep. Jesse, Gio, and Jeanine.
The three tiniest people in the game. It's funny. They're out
Pretty
on...
much.
Now, this time, the bags of risk is on a sandbar. So why couldn't they give that one? That's what Noelle's watching tonight. She's thinking, why couldn't you give me the sandbar one where I just had to walk across the sandbar? Why'd you make the lady with one leg climb a mountain? What do you think? I think we might actually get the first all three risk it.
I looked at the three of them and thought, I could see all three of them willing to take a risk.
Jesse's very clear. He's there to win $1 million, so he's going to take risks to make that happen. So he's going for it.
So if they all three go for it, they all three lose their vote, right?
No, only one. Only one will get the advantage, and the other two lose their votes if they go to bag 3.
Really?
That's my understanding.
Oh, I thought if they all chose risk.
That's Shipwheel Island. This one works a little different, I think.
Oh. Well, I guess
I could be wrong. We'll have to double check and go back and look where they explain it the first time.
Definitely, because I cannot remember
What's Owen got? He's got some paper.
Either he gets a beware advantage that they flashed on it once when Elie
was nearby
looking and she didn't see it, but they highlighted it to show it was there. So I'm thinking he found that advantage, and assuming that they have not found a beware advantage on their tribe yet, right?
Correct. They do not have one.
That's what he found, but will it be the beads to collect like the other two beware advantages?
Can't be exactly like that because one of those beads is gone, I guess.
Well, but they could say just
since they voted out Mariah.
Left.
Yeah. The beads that are left.
Yeah. But
what if he's gone through someone's bag and he's got something that someone else has and he's reading it, and that's why he says, I could mess some things up. That didn't sound like the comment or the quote that would be associated with, shoot, I just lost my vote.
No, it didn't. I could mess some things up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm actually anxious now to see what he gets.
Yeah, what it is that he's looking at.
Yeah. And then Ellie's like, oh, man, it's over. We're
Boom.
screwed.
Over. We're screwed, she says.
So I'm not sure what that means.
Sammy
either.
gives us an OMG.
Janine's running.
Is that Jeanine or is that Owen?
I'm pretty sure it was
Or is
Jeanine.
that Elie?
Jeanine.
They all got the long...
Vote, it's
Jeanine. From the back. You see them running from the back, and they've all got long black hair.
Yeah, I think it was Jeanine.
Okay.
And then Gabler says, now the game has changed. It's like, okay, well...
Whatever that means.
We'll have to wait till next week to find out what all that... But it seems like there's going to be a lot going on at Baka.
Yes, definitely. Looks like there's going to be some drama at Baka next episode. How about a JSFL update?
And Nina is in first place again this week with 20 points. 20 people lost their USB 24. 67 people lost a safe point. And congratulations to the 4 people who earned a vote-off point.
Quite the surprise, yeah.
Yes.
Good job, 4.
I love that when it's such a surprise and not too many people even guess it. So that's awesome. Side challengers, Jeremiah still in first with 18. With 17, Justin. 16, Nikki, Parker, Rebecca, Robert, and Stacy. With 15, Chris, and 14, Cold Mike.
All right. Pretty much staying in the same relative positions there week to week in the side challenge.
So far.
Well, I'm excited to hear what the other super fans thought. And fortunately, we have a listener feedback show to enable that very thing. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode 4 here in season 43. We've been having a great time with our listener feedback shows. Super fans calling in, writing in, letting us know how they think the castaways are doing, who's improving, who's falling behind, who might be the next one to go. Love to get your thoughts on what do you think's going on over at Baka. What is that Owen has? What could that possibly be? The voicemail lines 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. The email Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com. You can record your own audio or just write it up and send it along, and then we'll get that into the show. The feedback's due noon Saturday Pacific time, and we look for you to keep that in the 3-minute range. The sooner you get it in, the sooner I can start prepping it and getting it ready for that awesome listener feedback show. Come be a part. I'm excited to see what people thought about all the excitement in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to take me a little while to
Process.
take it all in.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably, we're going to need to do a rewatch.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We've already kind of rewatched
Scheduled.
a little.
Yeah, we go back and try to catch things because we do miss things when we're taking notes.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, let's watch that challenge again so we can just see the challenge without. Yeah, and so we rewatch bits and pieces and then, but I like to just go back where I
Leisure.
don't have to worry about notes and really just watch it over again and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
See what I might have missed, or even sometimes what somebody pointed out on the listener feedback show that we didn't see.
Yeah,
like,
we'll
ooh,
double back
awesome.
and watch again.
Let's
Like
go back and
the whole
check
thing
that.
about Probst not saying he was going to tally the votes
Yeah.
that Josh pointed out last
Yeah.
week. Sure enough, we went back
Totally
and
missed
watched
that.
it. Yeah, we're like, how did we miss that? Oh, well, good job, Josh. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Anything else?
I don't believe so.
Have a good one.